Okay, it's happened. It's live. Welcome. You're here for a virtually connecting session from the altc conference in Manchester. We'll go there soon. I'm Alan Levine, your virtual host here for the session, and we're looking for a lively recap of what's been going on at this great conference. And I was thinking, since it's the 25th anniversary, maybe as people introduce yourselves, tell me what technology or something else you're excited about in September of 1993. I did the math there. I'm Alan Levine. I'm coming to you from Mortlach, Saskatchewan. 1993, I was a year and a half into my first technologist job at the Maricopa Community Colleges, and I was doing HyperCard and Gopher. I'll go over to Anne-Marie Scott now.
Hi, I'm Anne-Marie Scott. I'm from the University of Edinburgh. And in 1993, I think it would have been Macs as well. It was probably a Mac Classic or an LC2. And I was trying to work out how to use a mouse because that blew my mind.
Way to go. That mouse is going far. All right, Jim Stauffer.
So I'm Jim Stauffer. I'm from Canada's Northwest Territories, community adult educator. So I sort of teach the people that Teresa was Francis Bell was talking about in yesterday's VC session, dropped out at 15 and are now have the courage to come back and try education again. In 1993, I was just learning that my fears that an email message might infect my whole computer running Windows, I think 3.0, realizing that maybe I dared buy a modem and an account to get on the internet after all.
And see where it led you, Jim. And now we'll go to our tireless organizer, Teresa McKinnon.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, 1993, I was expecting our second child. So I think the only technology I was excited about then was a tens machine.
Oh, that's really important. And now we'll go over to the room in Manchester, and we have 5 people there, right?
Yeah, we do. I think Deb is on her way up. She's been caught in one of the other sessions as well, so she'll join us shortly.
All right.
I'm Richard. I'm just off screen for those of you online. I'm here mainly providing the kit, standing in for Martin. 1993, I was doing a PGC teaching. I guess the technology I was excited about was the fact that when I went on a school practice, they actually had Windows machines, whereas the university library, I was having to write my essays up on those blue screen word processors. And the school I went to actually had Windows computers.
Awesome.
I think, well, I'm Maren Deepal. I'm alt CEO. I'm one of the lead organizers of the conference, and I also got to give a keynote today. So it's been a very exciting day for me. In 1993, I was interested in my CD player because I just discovered The Cure and bought every album that they'd released up to that point. So given that I was 13, I'm afraid I didn't do a huge lot else other than that.
That counts.
So I'm Sam Clark from Disruptive Media Learning Lab in Coventry University, and so when 1993 I was 8, so I was probably playing with my Nintendo at that time, discovering the joys of computer.
Right in the game.
I'm Sheila McNeil. I'm the co-chair of the conference this year, along with Martin Weller and Maren, who's actually done all the work as well as doing a fabulous keynote this morning. And I've been thinking about this a lot. I have a bit of a block in 1993. So I think I was doing all sorts of things that maybe didn't have any technology involved. And I'm quite glad, because I think if there had been Facebook or Instagram, that I would be quite, I would be able to remember an awful lot of what happened in 1992. But I think it might have been an answering machine, actually. I think I was quite excited about getting an answering machine in the flat, and maybe a cordless phone. I wasn't very into technology in 1993.
Hi, I'm Susan Gregg. I'm Operations Manager at the Association for Learning Technology. And I think we spoke about this at the conference dinner last night. So I think I was in '93 doing an art foundation year, and I think I would have been most excited about my camera, which would have been an analog camera with film. And my burgeoning love of technology didn't really kick off for a few years after. But yeah, the difference that digital photography has made is kind of quite amazing.
Awesome. And here we are 25 years later. And so big day for you, Maren. How did it feel to do the keynote today?
It was really exciting. I mean, it's a bit unusual, I suppose, for me to take the center stage, but it was a wonderful opportunity. And I was really excited to share some of the work I get to do that I'm really passionate about regarding our CMOLD scheme. And we talked a bit about equality as well and promoting different sort of ways of collaborating. So it was nerve-wracking. You know, I'm not going to say that I was cool as a cucumber. I definitely was really full of nerves, but it was a really supportive community. And I have to say, I haven't been able to catch up with all the online comments yet because there seems to have been more of those than I'd sort of expected. But it's been a real joy, a real privilege.
That's cool. And so what else has really caught your eye for other folks there on site this year at the conference?
I think as usual, it's always a very busy conference because I mean, there's over 400 people come over the 3 days, and there's lots of parallel streams. So there's quite a lot. I think there's been a lot of discussion about. We had a great start on Tuesday with Tracy McMillan-Cotton, and I think people have been talking about context and what it means to be a learning technologist. And we've had there's Debbie just coming in. We've had a lot of well, my mission I think has been imposter syndrome busting. A lot of people have been saying they feel like imposters and what they do because they're not quite sure how that fits, you know, if we're a learning technologist or not. So I think we've just been trying to, well, what I think we should all do is just recognise the great work and practice that is being shared across the community and stop, yeah, be proud of what we do and how we do it. So I think that kind of, those discussions have been really interesting, haven't they? Yeah.
I'm sure.
and Debbie did, we were talking about the Gasta.
Oh, yes.
I have to say, this woman was amazing in the Gasta. You have to watch her on YouTube. Yeah.
I have no idea what I said.
But I think that's worth drawing out as a highlight because this year because we're celebrating 25 years of ALT, we invited many representatives from other professional bodies. And we've had some folks over from ETAC in Canada. So I'm sure some of you might be familiar with their work. We had people from other British sort of associations. And we've also had colleagues from the Irish Learning Technology Association. And one of their members, Tom Farrelly, he does this fantastic sort of very short, snappy presentation style at their conference. And so Martin Weller and Martin Hawksey and I were at their conference this year, and I said to them, ooh, you know, I love these presentations, but I love your compare the most. I really want to import him and give us a bit of that flavor. So we all learned to count down to 5 in Gaelic, which was hairy. And then there were 5 brave presenters who did that yesterday. And I think it's been one of the most popular things at this event. It's been really exciting. So.
Okay.
Bring the event to Cardiff and we'll do it in Welsh.
Yeah, and I just caught the whiff of the energy in Twitter. So let's test your understanding. Can you count down?
I can remember tree.
A
doe, a tree.
Something else.
A tree.
Yeah. We can't remember 4. Yeah. Oh, yes. Great.
I think they succeeded. We don't need a rubric for you guys.
I just messaged Tom to see if he was going to join us, but I don't think he's picked it up yet. So he may appear. You never know.
So I think you should consider reconnecting Gasta. I think Tom Farrelly on the digital realm would be a fantastic feature. Oh, yes. Great idea.
I think Richard said it earlier and described it as kind of like Fetch Kucha with a couple of Guinnesses.
It could be done. It could be done.
Yeah, baby.
So how's the energy level today?
I think it's maybe slightly dipping now for me. Anyway. I think it's been really high. I think Maren raised it again this morning, talking about equality. I think, and again, just sort of giving us another context to think about our professional development. I think one of the things that in one of Maren's slides, she had this really interesting slide that she's been doing some work on our CMOL, our professional recognition scheme, and it was mapping what people had. Part of the reflective portfolio that you have to do, you have to have an area of special interest. And well, you could probably explain this better, Maren, so jump in. But there was, she's mapped, people, the most popular special areas of special interest along the last 10 years. Yeah. And it's really interesting because it is the history of ed tech in the past 10 years. So I thought that was really interesting. We had a few timelines this conference, but that really was like, oh gosh, so however much we might say we're cynical and we don't need to do that. We're actually that's what we're all working on. So I thought that was really interesting.
I have a solution for the energy. I think we should have jelly babies on day 3. At the end of all the aisles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maren will probably do that,
Yeah.
Yeah, probably would. Other sweets are available.
Not by the time I've walked past them.
We have a lot of cake at this conference. Brian Mathers, he drew us lots of visual thinkery cake as it's our 25th birthday. And it's actually really great to connect with you all, all around the world to celebrate and have you join in. And I just wanted to let you know that we've had, I don't know if any of you've seen, but we've tweeted out a remixer of visual thinkery as a postcard, to send a postcard to us here to help celebrate our birthday. So I'll try and get maybe the Be Connecting channel to tweet it out, because if any of you want to send us a picture of where you're joining us from, or a short message, we'd really love that. And we're collecting them all together from everyone who's here. And we've had some folks from Australia, I think, yesterday, who were doing some cards, and they were sending us pictures of where they are, or when they were able to come and see us here at altc. So if you guys want to send us any messages from you to be included, feel free to please do that. So Brian made us a little remix studio.
It's really brilliant what Brian did. I tried it out yesterday after seeing the tweet, and I'm a huge fan of Brian. I got to meet him finally at the OER conference last year, and it's it's just he's not that tall. Come on.
Not as tall as me, Alan. Not as tall as me.
I know. You put Sheila and Brian side by side. They're.
I have this brilliant photograph of Brian from the OER conference, and you can see me doing this, and all you can see is Brian over here. I think you're on that one, Maren.
Yeah. Yeah. I am with you.
I think that's a great point about the postcard, because it really has helped to bridge as well the virtual from the physical presence. There's been a real vibe of participating virtually. The tweets that have been going on, the use of LTHE chat, I really appreciated that, because it was totally participatory. I could get back into the conversations again, and it's felt closer to me. Warwick has felt suddenly closer to Manchester thanks to that, and I'm sure that's true of people who are much further afield too.
It was, I don't know if you watched the AGM yesterday, but it was lovely because all the kind of group that were on the stage kept waving to everybody who was virtually all the time. It was brilliant.
I think you're right, Teresa. I mean, I'm up here in Edinburgh because Melissa's in Manchester with you, and apparently somebody has to be in charge, and apparently she thinks it's a good idea if it's me, which, I question that thinking. But it has felt closer than previous alts. And I don't know whether that's the range of options for participation, or whether there's just been more emphasis given to it in a lot of the publicity. Because the YouTubes, the Hangouts, they've always been there, or they've been there for quite a few years. Being able to watch keynotes live has been there for a while, but this year it feels different. Yeah,
Virtual
definitely.
cuddle. That's what it is. A virtual cuddle.
Yeah, yeah.
I think about this year, I don't know. I think it's also, I think people are a bit more comfortable with that. So I think we're doing more every year. So that's wonderful to hear, because that's what we do want the conference to be as inclusive as possible. And we do realise that not everyone can come to the conference for various reasons. And that's why we're also keen to, connect up with, hook up with virtually connecting and do as much as we can. So it's really, I think from like the committee point of view, that's really pleasing to hear. And obviously we need that input from we're all having a lovely time here, but we want our conversations to then ripple out into the community, and also for input to come back in to the community as well.
What I'd hoped to do, but I didn't get around to doing it, was to do a bit of experiment with Flipgrid, which is it enables you to take a little video, like a 30-second video or something, and I thought it'd be great to tweet that out to the virtual community, and they could leave their kind of hellos, and it puts it all on a big kind of picture. I thought that would be fun. I just wasn't organised enough to do it, but the idea was there.
Just do it next day. There's lots of time.
I need a jelly baby first.
That's a great idea. I might just do it.
Winter conference.
Yeah,
I'll do it for the winter conference. There you go.
All right, we got that on recording, so.
Oh no, mind you, I also said last year I get my CMOL by now, so don't believe anything I said.
Can I make another observation? It's just occurred to me that I think a number of the presentations I've watched this year have, and it's maybe because of the reflective nature of the conference, have maybe emphasized the way in which we're building on each other's work much more. So a lot of presentations have referenced other people in the community, referenced the contributions or projects or inspiration or people we've worked with, and I wonder if that's also something to do with it, that maybe some of what we've been saying this year, and the fact that I'm even saying we, is knitting us together as a community as well. I mean, I think about Amber's keynote. I think about, there was something else I watched yesterday. My brain's emptied on me. Oh, yeah, things like the sea malt session. Yeah, loads.
I don't know whether it's maybe the anniversary, but also I think there's been that kind of growing recognition of the community, and actually, I think this goes to a lot of what you were talking about this morning, Maren, and the work of people like Catherine Cronin, and just actually acknowledging each other and making sure that the people who've done things are recognised and things are written out of our history. So I think there's a feeling of sharing and acknowledging everybody's work. And I think that comes through as well. Yeah.
Catherine and Francis was the other one I was desperately reaching for there and totally forgetting. The fact that they crowdsourced people's responses, and a number of those responses were for people not at the conference, but they brought those into their presentation as well.
I'm just going to have to invite folks to have cheering conference, cheering a session. It's my last duty. It's been great catching up with everyone, and I feel we'll do a lot again soon. I'm in the same boat, so lovely to meet you all. And,
Thank you very much.
I'll say goodbye, because as soon as I pack up, I'll be heading off to the train as well. So you'll be in the session, so we'll get a chance.
Don't worry, Debbie and I are still here.
I'm still here, because if I go, I'm taking the laptop with me.
Trip him at the door.
I was just going to say, one of the things we felt all really a lot this year, and I think those of you at Be Connecting who will have maybe come across the OER conferences or been part of those, I think there's a much stronger influence from that event in this year's ALT conference. And I think a lot of the sort of ethos of, giving people credit and including other voices and this sort of openness is a really strong thread at this conference. And it's taken us a few years, I think, to build a relationship between these two conferences. And that's really productive, I think. But it makes a really nice difference to the feel of this event in particular. So, and I think initiatives like this one is very much its own thing. But we get to, through you, connect to a wider community, and that's a real privilege for us. So I think we're really excited about that, aren't we?
Definitely. Yeah. And that was kind of my introduction to ALT, was through OER. 15, well, 14 and then 15. So yeah, so I kind of feel a real sense of family and bonding too.
And Maren, you're way too polite to say that actually you've been instrumental in that. But on behalf of the Open Ed SIG, without your support, we wouldn't be making those connections. And it's brilliant to see that happen. It really is. It really feels as though this is a fertile stream that is sort of feeding the open discussion into the mainstream, and that's so important. So thank you for that.
Oh, thank you. I have to say, I'm really, I was really thrilled at this conference. All the member groups met, and they all have lots of ideas. And at our AGM yesterday, altc AGM, we passed a new resolution to adopt a new constitution, which will actually see a new governance structure adopted by ALT, where all the member and special interest groups will have a direct voice in our governance. So the Open Education SIG and all the member groups, including in Wales and in Scotland and Northern Ireland and so on, and they will all have their own voice in our governance. And I think that's going to make a huge difference, because our community is really growing, and I think our governance structure hadn't really caught up with, it was kind of fit for 700 people, and now we're 3,500. So there's just so many more of us, and more people we connect with, like yourselves. So it's been a really momentous AGM yesterday. So I know it's not the most sexy thing to talk about, but hey, I'm very excited about open governance. So.
We can see that.
I've got that tattooed.
Oh, I had a brilliant Twitter chat about ethical procurement yesterday, thanks to this conference. So all the best things are coming out. All the best things. If I can add on to Teresa's comments, Maren, I think not only have you knitted together the OER conference, but and I think it was clear in your keynote this morning, the profile of what it is to be a learning technologist and the professionalization of our field and our practice. You have done an immense amount for that as well. And we thank you for that.
And you don't have to be called a learning technologist.
No, you don't. You don't. You can be one. You can be one, whether somebody has it in your job title or not.
I think we're all relieved about that, because none of us have learning technologists in the job title.
I am holding on as tight as I can to people telling me I'm still a learning technologist, even though everybody keeps telling me I'm a systems developer. I said, no, I spent 20 years as a teacher. You can't label me as a developer. I'm not.
It's
to make sure what you were.
Well, my role changed so many times when we did a merger recently.
It's a state of mind, purely.
We need a button that says I'm not a learning technologist.
Yeah.
I also like a tribute to Alton. I mean, the way Maren described, they're wanting to bring in remote. I mean, sometimes connecting, we try to work with conference organizers. Other times we just kind of sneak it into the conference. And it really makes a difference when the conference organizers, who have so much to do, see a value in that, and offering the ability for people to be remotely participating in the conference, not just viewing the conference. It really comes through in the things that you've done, both big and small, with this one and the OER conference, which I was at last year. So, and also like what there's a positive attitude. There's a vibe there. There's excitement, and it's not like we were talking earlier. It doesn't seem like the conference is just the tool thing anymore. And so it's really great to see some wonderful positive energy going on in the field.
Well, I think we're all buzzy, and it's been also actually really positive to see, like, we have a lot of organizations involved in the conference this year who have like an open ethos or a really collaborative ethos, and I think it's been really positive how much organizations who have started supporting the conference more in recent years, and they've really taken that on board, and it's become much more a collaboration, rather than sort of maybe being more them and us. And I think that's really positive. So, yeah, hopefully we carry that on.
I know we're supposed to have 5 minutes to go. I'm going to give you a heads up now that my laptop battery warning has just come up. I did turn it off at lunchtime because it said it had 2.5 hours left. So I thought that'd be plenty for a half hour doing this, but.
Not even if it's low, it's critically low.
It's just said it's critically low. I'll get my other laptop out just in case we're still talking. But just in case we disappear, that's why.
Yeah, he's not a learning technologist.
We're very
You
keen.
just pull the plug, honestly.
Right in mid-sentence.
How many people have got a spare laptop in their bag and have come all the way from Wales? See?
Yeah, but the problem is the power lead for this for the laptop we're using, is in my suitcase, not in my rucksack.
He's not
In
a
answer to
he's
in
not-
answer to your question, Deb, Martin Hoxie.
That's the Welsh word for. So, did you win the penguin, Anne-Marie? No,
Don't know. I don't know if Pat's done the draw yet.
I don't know.
Do you know it's not important that I win the penguin? It's important that Phil Barker doesn't win the penguin.
Yay!
Can you hear us?
Hang on.
Hang on.
Is this break the internet?
How's that? Can you hear us again?
Yes.
Yes.
There we go. How quick is that for swapping laptops? So
good.
let's hit change time.
You're not a technologist, you know?
What was the answer to my question?
What was the question?
I can't remember.
Oh, your question was about who had a spare laptop in their bag, and the answer clearly is Martin Hoxie.
No, that's not true. Martin has 2 spare laptops in his bag.
I was going to say yes, spare.
Yes, I haven't gone that far. I have a spare laptop and a tablet.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Oh, brilliant.
And all the cables. I have been known to save Martin Dougie Amos at a Moodle moot because I was the only one in the room that had an adapter for his laptop.
And he saved me last year because I didn't have a clever battery thing for my phone. So Richard was charging my phone.
And 2 years ago, where I had to install Linux on your laptop. So you can use your laptop.
You can't get more authentic water cooler chat than this. We're talking about power cables. I hope you are feeling included.
This is where it's at. And he's not a technologist.
Well, this is exactly what it's like to be here in real life. The entire conference is full of people looking for power sockets.
First world problems.
So you're looking for someone who's wearing a "I'm not a learning technologist" button then.
Yeah.
There you go. That's what it is. We like to share.
Yeah, but let's not talk about dongles.
Oh, God. So is it early in the morning where you are, Alan?
It's 8 a.m. here. So, but actually, Jim beat me to it. He got up at 4:30, I think, to prepare.
Oh, wow. That is good.
Yeah, but it's still 8 o'clock here.
Okay.
Yeah, I am flagging now. I think I
Yeah.
need some
Do you guys
coffee.
have any
Yeah.
other questions for us, or anything that you wanted to know about today or at the conference before we?
What's on tap for next year? What's next year?
Oh yes, so in about an hour we will have a closing plenary where we say thanks to everyone, and we'll give you guys a shout out as well, as we have done every morning, to everybody watching remotely. And next year the conference is going up to Edinburgh. So Anne-Marie, I'm really certain that it will be outside your office door and you will be able to get there, no problems. So yeah, we're all going up to Scotland, and given that next year is Brexit, we still hope we are going to get to Scotland. So yeah, travel visas permitting, we will be able to go to Scotland, and the next ALT conference is in
Getting
Edinburgh.
into Scotland won't be the problem. It'll be leaving.
We won't want to leave.
We won't want to leave, and will they let you back in?
Mind you, we all might just stay in Ireland for the OER.
I hear Galway's nice.
If we can get there, yeah.
So yeah, next year it's we have 3 wonderful co-chairs: Melissa Heighton from University of Edinburgh, and also Keith Smythe from the University of the Highlands and Islands, who's based in Inverness. And then we have also Louise Jones, who is the education lead for Google Education in Scotland, who's had, I think, around 20 years of teaching and being in FE in Scotland. So she's going to be, I think, one of our first co-chairs ever to work for a major industry player. So it's going to be really interesting. The three of them have come up with really challenging themes, and their whole ethos of the conference is going to be, you know, taking our critical approach from this year one step further and putting it kind of into practice. So yeah, it should be really fun, I think. But right now I'm really hoping it's going to be 8 o'clock this evening when I'm going to see my cat. So next year's planning will start tomorrow, but tonight we might have a bit of a breather.
That was my question to you. What are you both doing to recover and recharge your batteries over the weekend?
Well, what are you going to do, Debbie?
Catching up on all the stuff I've missed on my course reading from this week that I should have been doing. I'm getting to the point when I'm going to have to put my proposal in soon. So I'm sort of crowdsourcing some ideas because I have no idea what I'm going to do it on. So I'm all ears if anybody's got any ideas. So I might. I mentioned it to Sheila yesterday, and she still tweet it out and ask for ideas. So there you go.
That's a good idea.
Watch this space. So I've not done any reading this week. Haven't had time. What are you going to be doing, Rich?
Building some furniture for my study. I've only just finished renovating my kitchen. Now it's my study's turn.
We've seen photographs of the kitchen. It looks really good.
Anything to keep me off the laptop for a couple of hours.
He probably has spare tools.
Yeah.
Oh, there we are. I need some coffee and some cake or some biscuits or something.
So.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Time we let you go.
Yep. We're going to let you go. Thank you so much for joining us. Great conference. And thanks for also scheduling this afternoon session for some of us in the other parts of the world. And let's all get to Edinburgh next year.
Yeah, sounds like a plan.
And thank you very much for coming and saying hello to us. And, you know, we know that you're a big part of this, even if you're not here in person. So from all of us, thank you very much.
And do some postcards.